New from Deaf Crocodile is Trapped Ashes, which I believe is their first 4K UHD, which was wonderful transfer. It comes with a Blu-ray as well. And this 2006 horror anthology film has one hell of a pedigree with it. We've got Joe Dante, Ken Russell, Sean S. Cunningham, Monty Hellman, if you want to add in more. It was great, and I feel genuinely that anthology films are hit and a miss. They can be either really good, bad, the segments can be inconsistent, and I was a little bit wary getting into this because I hadn't heard of it before. I found myself loving this one almost instantaneously. It was terrific. The wraparound story here is with a group of people going on a tour of a movie studio. They stop off at a famous house from a horror movie where it was an anthology horror movie where characters in that movie sat down and told tales from their lives that were scary.
The mad undertaker forces everyone to tell horror stories to each other. Well, maybe that's what someone wants us to do.
And that's what's going to happen here. Our characters go into the house, they get stuck in a room, and someone decides that maybe they should start telling their scariest tales from their life. And they can be silly and over the top and just gory, a little bit realistic, moving into various different kind of subgenres of horror. It has kind of everything. And although some of them can be pretty silly, like the first one, The Girl with the Golden Breasts, I was along for the ride because that kind of set everything up.
You know what he did to me? My breasts.
Feed on human blood? Yes, we know.
This was directed by Ken Russell, this first segment, and it's about an actress struggling to make it in Hollywood until she gets faked breasts. Breasts with a curse. And it's just so silly and over the top and nonsensical. And it just, it's a great opener to this because you're just going to go with it after it. Nothing is as crazy as this one, and it just drops all out there, and it's really kind of silly and fun. The next film, Jibaku, is directed by Sean S. Cunningham, and this one is a couple on holiday in Japan, trying to rekindle their love when the wife is kind of struck by a spirit, something strange that's trying to steal her. And this one was great because we've got this different locale. We went from something that's really silly to something that's more kind of serious. It's more jumping into a typical kind of horror movie aspect. It feels as if there's a lot at stake here. And it slips into certain anime moments as well, which are wonderfully done. And it's great because it fits into the aesthetic and where it's set, but it's also great because it can help budgetary constraints. So some of the things that they maybe couldn't have done, they slip into anime and they show these wonderfully elaborate sequences, but intercutting it with what's actually happening and the kind of real life characters. It was wonderfully done. Stanley's Girlfriend by Monty Hellman, the man behind Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, is a really kind of weird tale, and this one stars John Saxon, and it kind of flash back to two Hollywood producers, and it's kind of alluding at one of them, Stanley Kubrick, and the relationship that they had in the discovery of a woman who is just so captivating that they can't let go of her. I won't go into too much about that one, but I really enjoyed that as well.
Stanley's not here. But you're more than welcome to hang out.
My Twin, the Worm, was a really oddball one. John Gaeta, the man who created the bullet time for The Matrix, he creates this weird tale where a woman is pregnant, but she's also infected with a tapeworm, and we get this voiceover of the baby connecting with the tapeworm as if it's like a twin brother and carrying that connection through her life as her mother passes away and she's left with the stepmother and the father and the relationship that continues from that.
So we began life together, the worm and me. We were both dependent on my mom for food, warmth, our survival.
It's wonderfully grotesque and just twisted, especially a lot of the sequences within the womb where you have this CG representation of the worm and the fetus, and it's great, but it's wrapped around by this wonderful tale, as I said, of people in this movie studio, in this horror studio house, having to tell their tales. And this the wraparound's done by Joe Dante, and it is just so playful and fun. It's a really solid anthology film. I liked it a lot. I mean, every segment had its ups and downs. There were some I preferred more than others. It's so weird that I can't even pick what my favourite would be. You know, I love the craziness of some. I love the more straight-laced horror of others. I love the way they were kind of creating this mix of real life with the anime at certain points, which was terrific within that one story. And the wraparound story was really good as well. All in, I would say that if you haven't seen Trapped Ashes, check it out. If you're a horror anthology fan, it's really good and it's got a great pedigree as well. Let's dive into the disc of Trapped Ashes and see what extras there are. Here we are in the disc for Trapped Ashes. Let's go to the extras here. First up, we have new interviews with the cast and crew. We have first an 88-minute Zoom-like discussion. We also have a second one and a third one as well. And I would say they're all really good. There's some really nice information. The length of these things are incredible, so they really get into some nice anecdotes. Personally, my favourite was producer Mike Frislev, who has the conversation with Dennis Bartlock. And because it's just the two of them and they're back and forth with information, they've got pictures going up on screen of things that were taken during the production. It just felt the most kind of intimate conversation, which I really just enjoyed. Next, we have Hollywood Parasite, Hysteria and Trapped Ashes, a visual essay. We have a new commentary with Stephen Bissett. A look inside a 5-part archival making of, which totals roughly 30 minutes. And that is the segments there. We have Stanley's Girlfriend, the director's cut 29-minute version, and The Girl with the Golden Breasts original cut, which is 26 minutes. Also included is an 80-page booklet. We have an essay by Walter Shaw, Memories of Trapped Ashes by Dennis Bartok, who was the producer, writer, and one of the creators of Deaf Crocodile. We have Trapped Ashes, 5 for Fighting by Sean Decker, and a Q&A with producer, writer Dennis Bartok and producers Yoko Yoshikiwa and Yoshifumi Hosoya. And that's the extras for Trapped Ashes. There we have it. Trapped Ashes out from Deaf Crocodile. Again, the 4K UHD looks amazing. The extras are great. I would recommend this one. I had a lot of fun with it. I definitely stick this one on and rewatch it again. Another one that I would recommend. If you've seen Trapped Ashes, let me know your thoughts. What did you think of the stories? Was there any you didn't like? What did you like? What was your favourite? Just anything at all. Let me know in the comment box. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box are links to Patreon, membership programme, manvfilm.com. Always in which you can support. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.